Right guys, welcome back to another episode of MTN Sunday Roast. Episode number, we've no idea because we've not been tracking them. But I think we've done about 8-9 episodes now. Today we are going to be roasting people that don't support you towards your journey. We're actually not going to be roasting them, but we're going to be discussing this in depth. And I suppose what we would recommend doing about whether it's unsupportive friends, unsupportive family, or maybe even an unsupportive spouse. Now, what is your advice on this, Dale?
I mean, I think it probably depends on what the current circumstances are.
So I would say the most common circumstance is you sign up to coaching, usually friends in my opinion, more than family, personal opinion. They don't understand why you're doing it. They still want you to go out and drink every weekend. What would your advice be to your client that's going through that, or maybe someone else that you know?
Well, you probably need to look at like what you value more. I think there's like a lot of people maybe look at they want to see change. Then if you want to see change, then things have to change. You can't continue to do the same things that you've been repeatedly doing to get a different result. So like the majority of people's downfall was always going to be at the weekend and things like with their friends and doing X, Y and Z. But you also maybe need to look at like, is there any of your friends that would be able to maybe change the plans up a little bit? It doesn't maybe involve drinking. Yeah. Could any three of your mates maybe wanted like you plan some form of activity at the weekend that would keep you moving and off the drink, something that's mostly like book something that's going to be an absolute stinker if you were to go and do it hungover. Like if you were to book something on a Sunday, let's say go trampoline or something like that, it would be horrific going there hungover. So if you do that, then you're kind of entitled to enticed not to drink at the weekend.
I think the whole night out thing as well is that I think so many guys that sign up to me and say the reason I've signed up is because every time I go a night out I put on a polo shirt or whatever and it's pure bursting. Yeah. I'm like, so you then sign up to a block of coaching and you want to still just keep going nights out and still be bursting outside that polo. I was like, you're going to have to just take a good bit of time off of doing that so that when you do go back your first night out, one, you haven't drank in ages maybe, so it feels really good to be back out and you enjoy it more, and your Hugo Boss polo isn't just sitting there struggling
What about you?
the full time.
I actually think one of the biggest things is communicating to friends, family, spouse, whoever it is, like why you're doing it. Like most people don't, like when was it, like even us, we probably don't, but if you sign up to something, make it clear to the people that you're kind of close to why you're signing up to it, because most people don't do that, so they don't actually express how important it is to them that they do achieve it. So no one takes their goals as seriously as the person actually trying to achieve them.
Yeah.
Like whatever Dale's goals are, I care about them, but I don't care half as much as Dale cares about his own goals. That's not a selfish thing, that's just like human nature. Most people are inherently selfish. You care more about yourself than you do anyone else. And I think actually trying to say that to people, so like whatever your goal is, maybe it is, you know, I actually hate how I look and I hate how I feel. Your friends and family might not actually know how strongly you feel about that, and if you've not communicated that to them, then they are going to be asking you to come out the weekend, they are going to be asking you to go out for meals. So I think an important thing is actually communicating to them like why you're doing it, which allows them to, I suppose, have a deeper understanding. And then if then they don't understand, then you can go, fucking hell, like
I also think some people will generally, that maybe your spouse or even your friends, like they would maybe try and bring you down, like not intentionally try and bring you down on that point of being like, oh no, you look fine, why do you want to change, like you look great the way you are, like just come out and have a few drinks, it's not going to be that bad, or just have like that cake in the office, like whatever it is, like trying, they're not doing that from a bad place of like trying to sabotage what you're doing, but they're subconsciously doing that for themselves and thinking, right, well, I can see that person changing, I see you changing, I don't really want them to do that because I want to be where they want to be.
Well, you had a good point.
I don't want them to get there before me, so I'll maybe pull them back.
Relationships are a good one in this. I think
it's people don't even realise they're doing it, but it's very natural. Like I'll give you an example. So like say for instance you are working on yourself all of a sudden in a relationship where beforehand you guys built your relationship on meals out, takeaways, holidays, you know, all these kind of
drinking
exactly, going for drinks and stuff, and then all of a sudden you want to turn around and say, well, actually I want to work on myself now, I don't feel good about myself. It's natural for that person to kind of start feeling like they're almost falling behind. Yeah. And their natural reaction is almost to, in a bad way, kind of feel a bit jealous.
Yeah.
So they might say things, sometimes unconsciously to themselves, knowing that it's hurtful towards you, but saying things like, you don't need to do that, you're fine the way you are, and it comes across as nice, and they probably always said that to you, even when you felt uncomfortable. They all felt they needed to tell you that you look great.
Can be a total insecurity thing as well.
100%.
I think in a relationship, this is where it's quite important from an insecurity standpoint. If it's a guy and a girl, and the girl decides she really wants to upgrade her physique, she really wants to get in better shape, she's not happy with how she looks, and she wants to do that for her. A lot of the time, if it's someone that's fairly insecure in the relationship, they then view that as, well, why is she working on herself? Like, I like her the way she is right now.
Yeah.
Why does she need to do that? But I think that's when you need to understand most people's goals, again, they do them for them. Like, a lot of people's goals aren't necessarily to please the public. That's a bit different if you're single. Like, most people that are single generally want to, they almost do work harder for themselves because they're trying to meet a partner or they're trying to find someone. But if you're in a relationship and you just decide for you that you want to change how you look, how you feel, how you perform, whatever it might be, you really do need to get your partner on board, because they often feel like they're getting left behind in a sense. And you really need to showcase, again, it's all about communication and explaining to them why you're doing it. It's not because I want a new boyfriend, it's because I'm unhappy with how I look.
You can imagine the situation, you can imagine, say that your girlfriend starts working on herself. If you were an insecure person, you might start telling yourself, maybe she's getting geared up to leave me, or she's actually getting a lot more attention now than she used to, and she's posting more on Instagram, and she's posting, maybe bikini pics because she's confident and stuff. You might be sitting there, if you're very insecure as a guy, you might sit there and go, is something about to happen here? And a lot of the time it's not. You should actually be really fucking grateful that she's working on herself, because let's be honest, it's benefiting you.
Massively.
Because she's probably going to be a much better person for you as well, because she's going to be more confident in enjoying her life a little bit better again. And she's probably going to be more confident when you're spending a bit of time together and all that as well. So so I think it's a win-win for every person in a relationship when someone else starts working on each other. But it's natural to sometimes just think, are they doing that to then maybe move on to someone else, because I'm not doing that stuff as well.
Yeah, I think making it clear, are you working on yourself? I've lost my train of thought now.
For you,
we'll crop that out. What was I going to say? It was actually something I was listening to do from someone to do with sales, and it's if your partner's not on board with what you're doing, you need to sell them the negative consequences of not signing up for a perfect is a better way to put it.
Aye.
So saying, would you rather I didn't work on myself, I got, I gained a lot of weight, I hated how I look, I was depressed, I didn't want to go out because I hated how I looked. So it's trying to sell them on what's in it for them. Again, like I said at the start of this, it's we're all quite selfish subconsciously. No one will admit that they're selfish, apart from me. But we're all quite selfish subconsciously, and you don't realise it. Most things that you're doing are for the benefit of you. So if your partner's not on board, or if your friends aren't on board, or if your family's not on board, you need to explain the benefits of what they'll get out of it. So maybe it's your family that's not on board. They're I'm not interested in you getting up and going to the gym at 6 in the morning. I'm not interested in you eating healthy. Well, it's you need to sell that to them. So it's I'll maybe cook the meals for everyone for the week. I'm more than happy to do that if it's going to help you guys stay on track and it's going to help me stay on track. So if you do have someone in your life that you feel mega unsupported by, you almost need to find benefits for them. How's this going to benefit them? Maybe it's the fact that your sex life is going to get better. This is a big one actually in relationships. If you're out of shape, overweight, don't like how you look, generally your libido and your sex drive is going to be absolutely down the pan.
The lights are off.
If your partner's sex drive is through the roof and yours is down here, but you can get yours up here by working on yourself, you need to sell that to them. I'm working on myself because I've actually got a low sex drive. I don't want to go to the bedroom with you. You make me feel sick. No, I'm joking. But if you can sell that to them, here's I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, but we're gonna get frisky 4 days a week. That's a selling point for them. So you need to find these things.
A good one for a kind of girl in her 20s, for instance, if she feels that she's really overweight and unhealthy, and her mum says to her, "Why are you doing all this? You're fine before." You could say something like, "I want to be healthier. I want to win the chance. I want to have a baby. I want to have a better chance chance of being more fertile and being able to have a child, and you'll get a granddaughter." That will trigger mum up rapid. Anyway, she's like, "Oh, fair enough, right, okay." So simple stuff like that, just selling it to them. 100%.
I think I suppose some take homes would be communicate with why you're doing it and give them the reason. Generally people do they do still want the best for you. They might not be able to see that, but they do want the best for you. So if you can communicate clearly why you're doing what you're doing, like why you're going to the gym, why you're eating healthier, why you're maybe avoiding alcohol, whatever it is. Communicate that, and then also give those people that are maybe unsupporting you reasons why it will benefit them. That's two of the biggest things that I would say. I think
that will kind of like lead into other avenues as well. If you're then kind of like setting the way, or like setting the tone of what you're doing, you'll probably find that there'll be a few people that actually want to follow in that footsteps. So how many times have you seen, like I've had plenty of like guy clients who would come on board and they're getting in shape, their mates are then seeing him getting in shape and they go, I actually quite like about that he's waking up Sunday fresh as a daisy in the group chat, feeling great, out making them being very productive on a Sunday. You can see him change, getting stronger, putting like things on the internet, seeing like how well he's doing, and they actually then get a bit more of a buzz from seeing that and then go, right, well, let's do this together. And then they'll jump on board and then they're actually starting to be more productive and take care of themselves as well. So sometimes it's about you setting the tone. It might be a case of you getting slagged first, but
100%.
set the tone and then the rest might follow.
I like that. Yeah, I think if you look at people that are happiest and most successful, it's because they actually enjoy seeing others do well. I think trying to portray that to other people is like a massive thing. Like your happiness should be going up if I'm getting happier and I'm enjoying my life more, not coming down the way. And if you've got people that consistently put you down and are consistently annoyed and unhappy with the fact that you're making better decisions, there is a point where you actually need to say, like, do you know what, like, I've tried, I've communicated with you, I've explained how this will benefit you, and you still don't give a fuck. Like, maybe those aren't like the people that you actually want in your life, whether that's friends, family, or a spouse as well.
The people that will have an issue with you working on yourself is because they've reflected on their lifestyle and it pokes holes in it.
100%.
So they are the only people. The only reason that they're annoyed is because they really wish that they were doing what you're doing, and they've not got the balls to get it done. That's what it is.
I think I done a
exactly
quote on
what
this like ages ago on Instagram. People don't want to see. I can't even remember this now. It's a pretty, because remember you read this, I showed you this, and you're like, I don't know if that makes much sense. Like people don't want you to be doing the things that they want.
People only want to see you do well until they see that you're better than them. That one?
No, I can't really remember.
What I was trying to get at was basically, like, if something triggers you, it's normally because you're not doing it yourself.
Yeah.
If you see something that.
Yeah. Perfect. Definitely. Roundups. Communicate better.
Yeah. Explain
what's in it for them.
Set the tone.
And I mean, you can also like motivate people through taking these actions. Think about the positive effects of that. And the last one was, you will get people that just don't want to actually, that will never feel good for you, and it's the kind of people you maybe do need to cut contact with, or at least reduce the amount of time.
I'm out.
With
and tell them you give them the treatment 4 times a week.
You give them the Sunday roast.
Yeah.